10 blocks per second.
What's up, crypto crew, and welcome back. Or if this is your first time, I'm Captain Crypto Might, actively escaping the matrix, scoping out the crypto ocean. So if you like your odds, get on the boat, stay up to date, thumbs up, and join the hunt.
Into the boat!
Crypto crew, by the time you watch this vid, Kaspa is running on 10 blocks per second. Congrats to Jonathan Sampolinski, Michael Sutton and the Kaspa dev team. A huge milestone for Kaspa, but also for crypto as a whole, as Kaspa keeps pushing the boundaries on what is possible on this crypto ocean. Not only does Kaspa solve the trilemma, which has never been done before, Kaspa running on 10 blocks per second has destroyed the paradigm of what seemed possible for a proof-of-work crypto project so far. Now Kaspa has an edge over proof-of-stake projects known for their speed and scalability being faster than the likes of Sui, Solana, and Hyperliquid.
And the vision of 10 blocks per second is that, things become internet speed crypto, internet speed proof of work. So you keep the same ethos, the same principles of Bitcoin, of a Nakamoto system, proof of work, blocks, transactions, all the things you're familiar with, and you are just sequencing the messages differently, sequencing the blocks differently, in a way that is guaranteeing eventual agreement, similarly to Nakamoto consensus.
You heard Kaspa originator Jonathan Sampolinski say, crypto crew, Bitcoin on internet speed. Kaspa ain't just another crypto coin. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Now, before we continue, crypto crew, always remember to protect your crypto investments. Self-custody is key, and in my personal opinion, the Tangent wallet is your best option. Plug and play, easy to use, and the most affordable cold storage out there. So if you wish to order your Tangent wallet today, you can get 10% off using code CryptoCrew. Check out the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for your consideration and support in advance, and may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you all.
What other cryptocurrency should you buy? What's the next Bitcoin? Well,
crypto crew, Kaspa has laid the foundation for the next waves of catalysts, and this is not going by unnoticed by the community, which the Kaspa community is the most passionate community I've ever seen on the crypto ocean, and the beauty of it all is that it's all organic. But the Kaspa dev team and other teams are still working hard behind the scenes to make Kaspa become what Bitcoin was supposed to be, and so I personally believe we as Caspians must continue to study. Yes, that word of truth which teaches the way to heaven by God's grace through faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, which is about eternal salvation and not religion, but also study the crypto ocean as a whole, including the project we love so much, Kaspa, because Kaspa isn't a product, it's a movement which, like all things in life, we must increase our understanding of. Shout out to Kaspa researcher Shai Vyborski, who just launched his own YouTube channel to educate the world about Kaspa.
Kaspa is, by any metric, a success. A fairly launched, community-based project with hardly any resources, no marketing team or budget, maintained by a bunch of geeks with no business experience, propelled by a shoestring community into a flourishing ecosystem supported by a massive industry. But the consensus engine that drives Kaspa has hardly changed. Since its humble beginnings, barring a few localized fixes in its early days, the Kaspa protocol remains the same since it launched. As the community around Kaspa became more massive, a change was ripening. Finally, core devs Michael Sutton and Ori Newman stepped up to take it to the next level. They raised a community fund and assembled a team of dedicated contributors to rewrite the Kaspa codebase from the ground up in the Rust programming language, a project since known as Kaspa on Rust, though I prefer to call it Rusty Kaspa. Michael wanted to rewrite the code in a performance-oriented language with a performance-oriented state of mind, and he set his eyes on an ambitious yet attainable goal: 10 blocks per second. When asked, many people will say that the motivation for 10 blocks per second is throughput. If we wanted to increase the throughput, it would have been much easier to just increase the block sizes. Increasing the block rates beyond a couple of blocks per second has completely different motivations. The three that I find most striking are decentralized mining, internet-fast confirmations, and multi-leader consensus. They say that mining, especially ASIC mining, is an economy of scale. And they are right. But what they hardly ever discuss is the scaling factor. And the scaling factor is BPS. So how do high block rates decentralize mining? In a network where the block delay is 10 minutes, only 144 blocks are produced each day, which means the network can only accommodate up to 144 different entities, say solo miners or mining pools, who enjoy a daily income. Worse yet, the noisiness of the block production process renders the income fickle and unpredictable. This sparse and irregular income stream incentivizes all but the largest miners to join a mining pool. Post-crescendo, Kaspa could accommodate up to 864,000 entities who enjoy a daily income. Imagine a wallet, a layer 2 provider, or any other business that generates transactions for its users. They are forced to broadcast their transactions to the network and rely on miners to pick them up. With many blocks per second, much more services could mine their own blocks. A user only needs to know that the service provider queued their transactions, and shouldn't care about the global fee market. And services can react to users faster than the round-trip time. Finally, businesses who mine their own blocks do so independently of the global fee market, compensated for their mining by the users of their service, creating additional sources of security subsidy. Will Kaspa confirm transactions 10 times faster after it is rolled out? Not so fast, little grasshopper. We are used to think of transaction confirmation times, at least in proof of work, as completely dominated by the block delay. This makes sense when the block delays are much larger than the network round-trip time. But Kaspa was built around the Ghost Tag protocol, whose claim to fame is exactly removing this obstruction. By accommodating parallel blocks, we can set the block delay as short as we want without compromising network security. But when the block delay is already significantly shorter than the network delay, making it smaller will not make confirmation times faster. Think about it. You cannot possibly confirm a transaction before most of the network even heard of it. It will still take the same time for miners to receive the block containing the transaction. Up to that time, they will mine parallel blocks that do not add confirmations to the transaction. At some point, the DAGNITE protocol will replace Ghost DAG, providing the only decentralized ledger that can react to changing network conditions, eliminating the need for a safety margin to maintain security even if network conditions deteriorate. Multi-leader consensus is a striking consequence of high block rates, allowing unique game-theoretic solutions to holy grail problems: security budget, the problem of creating sufficient incentives to mine the network even after the entire supply has been emitted, miner extractable value, the problem of profits exclusive to validators by manipulating the order of transaction inclusion, and decentralized Oracle implementation. The problem of providing smart contracts with a reliable and decentralized source of information about the outside world. In my opinion, this is the magic property that makes Kaspa stand out as a cutting-edge, uniquely powerful cryptocurrency. In regular blockchains, like Bitcoin, miners compete to place the next block. But the miner knows that if their block was chosen, it completely determines how the state of the network progresses this round. In particular, they know that they will get the fees for all the transactions in their block. In Ghost DAG, this is no longer the case. While mining the block, a miner can't know whether parallel blocks contain the same transaction. And if they do, which of the miners will get the fee. Ghost DAG resolves any such conflicts retroactively in a non-gameable way. This incentivizes miners to avoid transaction collisions. Instead of choosing the highest paying transactions, it is more profitable to introduce some randomness, prioritizing transactions that pay higher fees by selecting them with a higher probability. This is enough to shatter many of the pathologies of Bitcoin's fee market. In particular, higher fees entail higher quality of service even when a fraction of the network is utilized. avoiding the notorious race to the bottom other proof-of-work chains experience when they are not fully congested.
Crypto crew, if you want to be educated on Kaspa, Shivy Borski is a fine educator. Subscribe to his channel. I'm sure it will be more than just to help to increase your knowledge and understanding of Kaspa. Shout out to the Kaspa dev team and the Kaspa community for this historical milestone in crypto. Kaspa running on 10 blocks per second. Wow. And shout out to you for holding Kaspa during the corrections, and not financial advice, of course, but I believe we are super early in Kaspa, at least at the making of this recording. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good.
Stick around.
Fix your mind before you get to the grind. And with that said, let's continue to escape the matrix. Let's continue to be on the lookout for the next big thing here on the crypto ocean. Grow in grace, and let's make some crypto waves. Say I.